we have some more examples of how to interpret written word into a math problem. So let's take a look at this. The output of a function is 3 less than. Never says 3 less than. We always put a minus 3 at the end of the sentence. See this minus 3? That's what you'd always do. 3 less than. So as soon as I see that, I know to put minus 3 at the end of my sentence. 5 times the input. And the input is usually referring to x. So 5 times x. Find the input when the output is 17. Well, let's first write the equation. So y is your output, x is your input. So we have y equals 5x minus 3. Remember, we have the minus 3 because it said 3 less than, and 5 times x because it said 5 times the input. Now let's actually substitute in a 17 because they asked us to solve for x when the output was 17. So we place a 17 in here, and then we use our basic algebra skills. We need to get x by itself. So it has minus 3. We need to move that over to the other side of the equal sign by adding it. So we're going to add 3 to both sides. These could become 0, so you get 5x left over here. And 17 plus 3 is 20. So we simply move that down. You get 20 equals 5x. And now we have one more step to go because x is not by itself yet, but if we divide by 5 on both sides, 5 over 5 will get me 1x, and that's my goal. So I put 5 over 5, and then I have the 20 divided by the 5. Now we get 4 equals x, and that's our solution. Answer: if an input of 4 produces an output of 17. Let's take a look at another type. Let's see. Here we go. If you want to check it, you can place it all back in there, and it turns out to be 17 because 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 3 is 17. And so it checks out just fine. Let's have you guys try a couple of these. Interpret the words into an equation. Remember, input is x, output is y. Pause your video and try to write the equations for these, and then solve them for this example. This one has an output of 11, and this one has an output of 3. All right. Pause your video. All right, you're back. So let's take a look. On this one, 5 more than. As soon as I see 5 more than, I am going to write a plus 5 at the end of the sentence. Then negative 2 times the input. Negative 2 times input. Input is x. So we have y equals negative 2x plus 5. Now on this one, let's see if we can interpret it. The output of a function is 4 less than. Oops, got to put a minus 4 at the end because it says 4 less than. 4 times the input. 4 times input is x. So y equals that. Now when you actually take an 11 and place it in here, you will be able to solve by subtracting your 5 and dividing by negative 2. And when you did that, let me move this, you should have been able to get that x is negative 3. When you place the 3 in here, you should have been able to get 1 3/4. Now that's a tough one, so let's walk through that one real quick just to make sure you understand it. We place a 3 here, so we have 3 equals 4x minus 4. Add your 4 to both sides. Now we have 7 equals, and there's 4x here. All right, so divide both sides by your 4, and so we get x equals 7 over 4. Now we need to simplify that. 4 goes into 7 one time with a remainder of 3. So if the remainder is 3, we write the remainder there, and we always use the same denominator. That's why it's 1 3/4. All right. Well, here we go. We have a word problem. As a scuba diver descends into deeper water, the pressure of the water of the diver's body steadily increases. The pressure at the surface of the water is 2,117 pounds per square foot. The pressure increases at a rate of 64 pounds per square foot for each foot the diver descends. Find the depth at which the diver experiences a pressure of 8,517 pounds per square foot. Let's take a look and write it in words. What generally happened here? pressure at the given depth is equal to the pressure at the surface plus the rate of change of pressure times the diver's depth. So now you have the pressure at the given depth equals 2,117 plus 64D. So let's take a look. We write down the math problem. And the other thing we know is find the depth at which 8,517 pounds per square foot. Okay, so we're going to substitute that in for P, because that is our pressure. And now we have a basic algebra problem to solve. We're going to subtract the 2,117 from both sides. And then we get 6,400 equals 64D. Then we're going to divide by that 64 so the D can be all by itself. So divide both sides by 64. And when you do that, you get D equals 100. So our answer is when the depth is 100 feet, you will find that the pressure is 8,517. All right, you guys, I will have some problems like this for you to practice in class. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.